Hi, good people. Captain's log. 250,000. I feel like it's the same video but different days. It's not. These are different days. Hi, good people. Some more perp puzzles. Not my favorite topic. Um, but necessary. Okay, so this is to help documenting, pretty much what's going on. So last time I talked, I was on my way to work and I hadn't slept the whole night before. Okay, so fast forward the next, couple days later, and came home from work. Didn't, work, so you don't really um, rest like you would regularly. Normally, it's work, but I figured I'd come home and rest a little bit. I'm single. I don't have a husband. I don't have kids, so it's good. That is good. You hear me gripe a little bit about singlehood, but singlehood, when you want to rest and relax and enjoy your time, it's wonderful. Okay, and I used to love it, especially for being able to catch up on rest. Because you can kind of like you don't have to sleep regular hours. You're not chained to such a schedule when you're single. Okay, that's the beauty of it. It really is. Well, at least it used to be, until Project Stop Sherry from Sleeping went into effect. I don't know if that's the name of it. Anyways, so I get home and I'm like, I did some stuff, bare minimum, because I wanted to make sure I have enough energy to work again, right? And I have to pull an all-nighter. So I say, okay, I'm going to catch up on some sleep. I'm very aware of my health, mentally and physically, and what I need. It's a very simple recipe for humans, okay? You know, drink enough water, wash your hands, keep your weight, diet, blah, 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 um, and get enough rest. That's a key thing, okay? All work, no play is not good. Well, anyways, so I lay down and I hear noise below me, okay? I'm like, whatever. And then I hear the buzzing, like a machine. It's a machine of some sort. It's some type of generator. I hear the machine start humming, as if it's like getting ready. And the air I hadn't felt the buzzing in my ear yet. I only heard the machine on. Then I'm laying there waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Because I know, I'm like, here we go. And about half hour, maybe 45 minutes, that's how long it took for this machine to warm up or do whatever it needed to do. And then the buzzing in the ears started. Yep, it's a buzzing, and it's like it's heat. It generates like a heat, and it makes me feel dizzy and nauseous. Those are kind of new things. The nauseous part. Um, so I thought, okay, maybe it'll just buzz a little bit where I can still sleep. No, it buzzed, and I could not get to my sleep zone. So I did this little, I swear they should be running like a little Benny Hill song around me, because I move in each spot in my room, from that part of the room to that part of the room to that part. I'm like all over the room trying to find a spot where this frequency, what I believe to be a frequency machine, won't reach me. Of course, that's impossible because frequencies are waves and they travel through the air. So it's going to reach you. But it's funny because I sure try. So I still decided to lay down. I thought, well, even if I can't sleep, I can rest. My body can rest. All right, so I did. And at one point, I think I did. I think I think the goal is maybe to I don't get to fall into a deep sleep, but I still have dreams, light dreams in this situation. Um, so right, so I've been laying down for a few hours. I know I should be refreshed. Woo, ready for another work, ready to clean the house, ready to go walk the dog, ready to live, man. Should be, I'm ready to live. But I'm not, because I didn't get sleep. And it kind of irritates me because, I'm single. I want fucking sleep, okay? I don't have a husband, I don't have a kid in the background, that I have to tend to, and that'd be okay, but I don't. These are one of the joys of singlehood. Don't take them away from me. Let me sleep. What's it to these people if I don't sleep? Well, I don't see honest to God, what is it? What is the obsession? I'll find out. We're going to find out. Let's put these perp puzzles together. Come on, everybody. Okay. So at one point I did fall asleep lightly, okay? And and go figure, I happened to have one of my favorite dreams. Guess what it was about? Zombies. Oh man, what a thing to dream about, right? Today of all days. Zombies. I have a history of dreaming about zombie dreams. I grew up in the 80s, so zombies movies were very popular. Go figure, fast forward years later and yeah. So, okay, so this zombie dream, I must have caught it. Maybe it was somebody else's dream. Maybe I was in somebody's like virtual reality thing. Sometimes I wonder, and I know that that's a capability. I know that there's a lot of virtual reality stuff going on and like forced broadcast into other people. So I wonder sometimes if like punk kids or punk people are playing like video games and like use regular citizens as like their avatars or something. Like, was I caught up in somebody's real game? Some video game. Oh yeah, and my ears are still, they're hurting now. They feel very they're still hot, and they're extra waxy lately, and I don't really get super waxy super waxy ears, but today they're really, I'm gonna obviously clean them out and whatnot, but I think that's due to all the heat action and the buzzing, right? It's not normal, so my body's like reacting probably to protect itself and producing more wax. But I digress. So, anyways, I'm in a zombie dream, right? Okay, and I didn't know it at first. Dreams are funny. Here, let me explain the dream. It was interesting. Okay, and okay, so in my zombie dream, I'm working at the hospital that I used to work at, right? Which is kind of in a busy area, um, close to downtown, in the city, and and so I recognized it in the dream briefly. Obviously there's different floors and stuff, so I was working some unit. I'm like, oh, cool. I must have been working through the agency or something. Why am I working here again? But okay, I'm here at the hospital, and and all of a sudden I hear like a I'm not. This is just. It's just the dream. Okay, it's probably a forced dream. Somebody had me have this. So, anyways, I hear like a burr, burr, burr. Like the alarm sound, and so I'm like, okay, oh, better go. Get to the floor level so I can get up out of here. And usually in a situation like that, when you work in a hospital setting or whatever type of setting and you're a caregiver, you double check and make sure your patients are good and your coworkers and all of that, right? There's a protocol you follow. Okay. And usually I do. I would. I've never had that happen, but in my dream, I was just like, I'm just gonna go check. I don't know, my instincts must have kicked in or something. I better save myself and then go get help. That seems logical. I I hope to God I would not do that. No, that's wrong. Okay, but I was checking the scene out. That's probably what it was. I was being brave and checking out the scene. Okay, so all of a sudden, then the dream switches and we're in the backyard or something, okay? And it's still the hospital, but it's like the backyard, some garden part, which is odd because usually they don't have gardens in hospitals. But this one actually did. This one did. It had a visiting garden or something. It was beautiful. Okay, it is beautiful. It still exists. So, anyways, I go to the garden and straight up zombie movie, right? Okay, I'm like, there's a girl and all of a sudden I'm lying on the ground, right? And I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I turn over, right? Now, can you imagine I'm sleeping in real life? So I probably was turning over at that moment. And so I turn over and then there's some guy screaming next to me, ah! And then there's some girl running past me and I'm like, well, what the heck? What's going on? But it seemed urgent, so I'm like, I better hurry up and get up. And then the girl goes to me, are you gonna get up? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, come on. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna follow her. And then the girl, she says, why do they always face downwards? And I said, what the heck, what are you talking about? And I seen a guy, look like a guy, and his head was facing, his head was towards the ground. And it was, I forget that part. Forget it. We're not gonna, okay, scratch that part. So we start running. And it's almost like a jungle gym type of thing, where they have those little playgrounds and they have like different levels to them. And there's like monkey bars that lead out and like slide on one end. There's like 4 different entrances, you know. So it looks like we're like jumping over one of those, right? And I'm following her. I'm like, and I look and then I'm like, uh-oh, that guy on the ground is like eating some other guy, the other guy's face. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I know what time it is. I've been through this. I'm a child of the 80s. This is a zombie, and this is okay, boom, I was on it, right? So I'm running with her, right? I'm like, this chick must know where she's going. There must be a group of safe people somewhere. Either way, it's immediate, imminent danger. Let's get away from this little playground area, okay? Because this guy was just eating this other guy's face, and it is time to go, okay? It's time to go. So, so I was running, and I was doing it, and I think we seen one other person like fall. Oh, I know what it was. And I'm telling this story horribly, but okay, you get it, right? You get it. So somehow it's, you know how dreams are, they're not always logical. So there's a ladder. There's our savior, right? There's a ladder to something high, right? Usually in zombie movies, high places are a good thing, right? That equals safety. Not that zombies can't walk upstairs and stuff, but okay, in general rule of thumb, even in all types of warfare, the height advantage is always good, okay? So there's a ladder leading up to something, the top of the playground thing where we could jump up to some more, get higher. So I'm going up the ladder, and no, the girl's up the ladder in front of me, and I'm going up the ladder. And then there's another girl coming behind us, and she gets got, and then the ladder's still down there, so another big old zombie gets on that ladder, and I'm like, oh man, the girl's like, just shove the ladder down, right? And I'm like, shove that zombie off of it. But I'm like, what if we need the ladder later? Maybe I'll just shove him off of it, and then, and save the ladder. No use in wasting. I don't know why my brain was thinking like this, but you never know. We needed the ladder, so I'm like, I'm just gonna push him off of it, not realizing, I don't know. Saving things, that's always in my head. Let's save it. You don't know, we need it. I could maybe lift it up and bring it over here, and we could you know jump to that other building with it, right? Okay, let me just get him off the ladder and get the ladder up here. Right? So but yeah, it was kind of late, and he was like halfway up the ladder, this big zombie thing, and yeah, I had to let the ladder go. And then the other girl was running ahead, and then I was following her. So, and then I woke up. Interesting. Zombie movies, of all things to dream about today, right? Not even dreaming ahead. I think that was a whole 15, 20 minutes, like a little clip, like a little trailer. Not even the full movie, not even not even half of a movie. That's how much, rest my mind got today. So not cool. Not cool at all. And this is being done purposely, because this is not, never in my life is this usually, and it correlates with whatever machine that is. And I swear they only run it when I'm going to go to sleep. So it has to be running. And I know that these things exist. So I've done my research. So, if you haven't done your research, don't do your research on this, because it's quite interesting. We exist where we live in times where this technology exists, where you can do things like this. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's a frequency machine. If you beam it at somebody's ear and makes a high-pitched noise, it's going to keep them up, and it's going to make them dizzy. Which brings me to my second point. I think I figured out what type of machine it is, okay? For a long time, I was thinking it was like an expensive one, but now I think there's such a machine that military and police in particular and sheriff's department have. This is, and the military, because police and sheriff's department are called paramilitary. You get it? So in case there's like civil unrest, then the police and the sheriffs would step in as the law of the land as well. So they would have military powers given to them over citizens. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so so police and military have this equipment, energy weapons. They're called LRADs. It's an acronym. It stands for Long Distance Acoustic Range, right? Or no, excuse me, Long Range Acoustic Devices, LRADs. Okay, and that's basically lingo for a frequency machine. It's a frequency weapon. So you've seen them. They're kind of mounted on this wheeled thing, and it looks like a big disc, like a satellite disc. And when it's turned up for like a crowd control, it can it's long range, so it reaches across like city blocks if you needed to, and it, like picture X-Men, picture like when they have their powers and they're like, and it reaches so far. And what it does to the people is it'll make you like get down, like it hurts you that much, like you're just overtaken by the, by the properties of the energy weapon. You're just like, you fall to the ground. You sometimes it'll make you throw up real bad, and like you won't move. It's crowd control in case there's violence or something erupts, and you can't fight if you're on the ground, cringing in pain and throwing up and stuff, right? And then in your ear too, that machine, like, yeah, it just like totally takes over your whole body. Where you can't fight, you can't resist, you can't, yeah, and that's the whole point of it. Now those are for crowd controls, but anything that can be made for a crowd can also be made for an individual, right? Stands to reason. Instead of making the machine this big, make it this big. Make a mini one for one. Make a mini one for a house instead of a one for a block, of people. Make it a small party mixer, right? Just like drinks, mix a big one for a big crowd, or make a little single serving. That's what I'm thinking. What's being used? Some type of LRAD device, like a miniature one. That makes, because that's what it feels like. That's exactly the same effect, that it's having. Would be an acoustic range device. And those would be easier to get a hold of than something a little bit more, I don't know, more techy, more advanced. So, but that's what it was. That's what I believe is being used. So it's somewhere in the vicinity too. I'm thinking it might be close. But yep. So no sleep again. Yay. I work. I don't know how these people thinking I'm gonna go ahead but that's the whole point. I think when you're targeted, obviously they don't don't wish your well-being, right? That's the whole point. So anyways, I'm babbling. But yeah, that's the perp puzzles for today. No sleep and a zombie dream. So that's it. I'm out. You guys have a good one. Make sure, keep doing your research, and God does still love us, so no matter what. All right. Thanks. Bye.